Welcome to another episode of Colin Palmer Sailing. In this episode, we talk to some fellow sailors that we've run into and continue with our sailing life, and also we experience a family loss with our immediate family, my wife's father. We'll get into that later in the video. What I do like about my sailing community that I'm surrounded with is that there's so many interesting people with so many different aspects of their lives that pertain to sailing in one way or another. For example, this is Don and Sonia, my marina neighbors, and we're visiting them in their airport hangar.
It's even a 3D view of the airport.
That's nice.
So if we're going to land on 5, it shows you what
Where
you
the
would
approach
see.
is, yeah.
It's like
That's awesome, dude. That's so awesome. It's almost like a cheat sheet.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot harder now. I've got an autopilot in here,
Nice.
and we can get set up, push a button, and
And sit back.
relax.
Yeah.
Wow.
For long rides, it's kind of nice to let the
Now,
plane take off.
is it kind of like sailing like Caribbean or to certain airports? Like if some harbors are easier to pull into than others?
No, runways are runways, except some places are very short. So you got to consider the density, altitude is one thing. So air, think of it like a liquid, like water, right?
Yeah.
It has different densities. When it's hot and wet, the molecules are farther apart, which means the wing doesn't have as much material hitting it, and the propeller doesn't have enough material to
grab.
So on a hot, humid day, you need more runway.
Oh.
On a cold winter day that we fly in the winter, this thing just jumps in the air because the air is denser and thicker.
Oh, it's got more to grab onto.
Yeah.
It's like why they can't fly planes up at Everest if you need to be rescued. The air is so thin that the propellers of helicopters can't grab to get up there.
An analogy would be taking your hand, pushing it through water,
Yeah.
rather than taking your hand and pushing it through sand. A lot more resistance, so
Yeah.
more grip with the sand.
Yeah.
So that's the consideration.
That's the
Like right now, I just topped the fuel because I go over to Aurora.
Yeah, to scare all my viewers. This is Sonia, everyone. Sonia and Don.
My daughter's.
And this is their hangar. What a beautiful hangar this is. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
We
And
enjoy a lot.
how did you get into flying?
Well, he's been flying for 39 years.
Yeah.
Then we got together, and one day he goes, I fly, would you like to fly? And I said, yeah. And I sat there quietly, he says, wow, this one is a keeper. Because I love it.
Yeah.
I really love flying.
Yeah.
It's much better than
Much
sailing.
better than sailing. Yes,
No,
they
sailing
have.
goes
Yeah.
nowhere. But the motorcycle goes places.
She loves the motorcycle.
Goes places.
Yeah.
And the airplane is my favorite, along with the...
I do little bikes here.
yeah.
Yeah. This is an alternative lifestyle. You can live this way in Waukegan, Illinois.
Yeah,
Like
too
this
bad
is their
there
home.
No bathrooms.
Yeah.
So does Sonia fly with you? Does she drive?
Loves to fly. Yeah.
She likes the plane better than the sailboat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does. Yeah. So I had her take some lessons, and she can fly. She could land.
Oh,
If
wow.
she needed to, but she's more like, she's a little intimidated by all the stuff, but it's, it's a bunch of simple things. So trust me, if I
Wow.
can do it, anybody can do it.
It's cool how many of
It's
this.
complicated, but it's
You got a
it's
lot
just
of stuff
series
going
of,
on.
learning different.
But it's interesting that as a sailor, we use the same type of instruments, as far as
It's very neat to go
speed
through
and
their
velocity
airplane and see
and
that some
the
of the
compass is
instruments
key.
are
You
very
can slide
similar
it through a
to
compass.
instruments that we use on the sailboat. Very fascinating how
That
you
shows your
can
pitch and yaw.
compartmentalize and keep an eye on all the changing conditions and keep an eye on all the instruments that Don and Sonia have here in their plane.
right.
As we wrap up the afternoon,
They'll stall
hanging out with them,
Yeah.
we're reminded of our father-in-law who's in the hospital, and as the sun begins to set on his life, there's a lot of reflection about how we spend our time and what we put our energy into. Ron is an engineer, a biker, a lover of nature, and as he reaches the end, he's in hospice care, as you see here. He was still very jovial and had a great attitude. We kept sailing but stayed close to home. And here we got a chance to see the annual Chicago Air and Water Show. As I was making my way through Montrose Harbor after the Air and Water Show, I happened to luck into this couple that was tied up near the wall. What a great story they had to tell, and I had no idea I was amongst one of the top-rated solo sailors in the world. But right now, we are visiting with some friends that I just ran into here on the wall in Montrose.
Hi.
Hey guys, what are your names?
Oh, Anna.
Anna, Shimon,
Yeah,
and you guys are from Poland.
from Poland. Yeah.
I have a lot of Polish fans, and my neighbors at Waukegan are all Polish, and they're fun
great.
and great sailors. Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys are on your way to Newfoundland.
Yes and no, because we have now our 5 years plan go around the world,
Okay.
and this is our first step. Yeah, from Plymouth in England in Regatta to Star.
Yeah.
To Newport in Rhode Island.
Okay.
Regatta here, Verve Cup Regatta.
The Verve Cup, right?
Yeah.
Starting in New York.
And yeah, so sorry.
Wow. So you've hit all those spots already, and now you're in Chicago. You did the Verve Cup, which was this last weekend, with the Air and Water Show.
Yes,
And so-
amazing.
Yeah, and now it looks like you've got a handful of boats. It looks like you're doing repairs.
Yeah.
Are you permission to come aboard?
Yes, of course.
You constantly have to be out here. Yeah, so we are down below, and yeah, basically like a stripped out sailboat, race boat. It's got all their notes and things. That storage or sleeping too?
Oh, on the land we sleep here.
On land you sleep
On
there,
land.
right.
On land we sleep here.
Inside is storage for sails.
Oh, got you. I see the
Enough,
sails
So
underneath.
maybe
Yeah.
we show you our plan.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see that.
We have a map.
Yeah, I'd love to see the map.
It's black, but it's okay.
Wow, so this is your plan here. This is their route that they're going to be taking. Let's
Yes.
zoom in on Chicago. So we're here, right there on
This
the
is our
Great Lakes.
first step from Plymouth to Newport.
Okay.
Race in USA. We back to Europe to Azap race, to
Fastnet.
Fastnet.
Really?
Yeah, and
You sailed to Fastnet Rock?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, these guys have been to Fastnet.
And we have been take way down for Ushuaia, this way Patagonia,
Chile.
Cape Horn, and back to race to Alaska from Seattle to
Seattle to Ketchikan.
Ketchikan, yeah,
Oh,
Ketchikan
okay,
on
okay.
Alaska, Japan, Sydney, Hobart,
Wow.
yeah, and back to with Regatta Cape to Rio, back to Europe.
Wow. So these are all things that have been done. They've been done. These guys are freaking rock stars just hiding out here on a wall in Montrose Harbor.
Yes.
I'm sweating my 25-mile ride back to Waukegan. Today, tomorrow, Thursday, I don't know. But now I'm like inspired to just keep going. That's it, I quit. That's so awesome. Yeah. I knew there was something special about your boat when I saw it.
Oh, thank
So I was on my way to lunch. I'm like blowing off my lunch because I'm working remote. And I was going to go get something to eat, but I thought it was so cool to talk to you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Colin Palmer Sailing on YouTube. And again, name of the boat?
Hultai.
Hultai. Awesome.
Hultai or Call of the Ocean.
So this came out of a catamaran, and so they try to have a zero waste policy. So everything is reused, everything is repurposed. Got lithium ion going here. Got the head. It's tight quarters, but it works. I mean, and you probably get where you're going in a hurry. This thing's so fast and light.
Shimon sailed around the world twice.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this is my first.
You've sailed around the world twice. Now, what years were that? He's like, I don't want to brag. He's so humble. What years? What year did you?
First time is the
2020
yeah,
2020 to 2016,
16.
and the second
Second
time
time is
2017 to 2018.
Oh, okay. Wow.
First time is normal route.
Yeah.
With trade winds, with pit stop, and next time go non-stop.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wow. So you don't have a website or anything? You just.
Yeah, we have.
Oh yeah, you gotta let me know your website,
Okay.
please, so I can put it in the video.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Heck yeah. Cool. All right, I'm adding some more filler. I'll just edit this in. And I hope my glasses are clean. Is there anything on my glasses?
Perfect.
Okay,
I
good.
think perfect.
Okay, perfect. All right, cool. I'm so glad that just kicks off my next round of videos is perfect. And so Shimon,
Anya.
Anya,
Anya.
and Colin, thanks again for watching. Peace out.
Thank you.
I was so inspired after spending time with Shimon and Anya, and I had been on the move sailing from port to port for the last 2 weeks, working from the boats and living aboard. I love staying at Montrose. I met so many cool people, and they were always so hospitable to me and my wife. So as we kept our trip going, knowing that within the next few weeks things were going to change with the health of my father-in-law, I just kept the boat pointed and kept sailing. Of course, no trip to Chicago would be complete without spending time with my friend and mentor, Fred Dry. Every time we're on his boat, Katie Ann's Priority, I learned something new. And he never disappoints. I always come away with some new gem to improve my sailing and boat handling skills. So we kept right on sailing. I was able to sail with him twice over the period of 2 weeks, and did a lot of sailing up and down the front of Chicago's magnificent skyline. Of course, my favorite place to hang out in Chicago is Corinthian Yacht Club at Montrose Harbor. I have a lot of friends there, and such a beautiful harbor. Great view of the city, great view of the fireworks Wednesday and Saturdays, and always bustling with sailboat activity, boating activity. Today I took time, the water was clear enough, no dangers of electrical current to go underneath and check my prop, see what was going on down there. I did hit a branch that was in the water. My prop split it in half, so I figured that with the water being clear as it was, it's now time to go under and see if there's any damages. So far, everything down here looks good. No damage to the prop. The bottom needs a little bit of scrubbing, but not too bad. I did repaint the bottom this season, and I'll probably want to scrape this all the way down to the gel coat, but that's a project for the end of the season. But so far, everything looks pretty good. No damage. You always have to watch out for things in the water. Always keep your eyes peeled.
Here is Pomfrets, a Pogo 50 from France. Beautiful boat. Next, it was off to celebrate our 30th anniversary. Always a good time to go downtown to the heart of the city, get a few cocktails, and hang out with my first mate for life. And we always have a good time here, being in the thick of things. Rooftop bars and parties, just basically hanging out, the two of us, like a couple of teenagers. The city's always a beautiful place, checking out architecture, the whole layout of the city, and all the people enjoying everything that the city has to offer. Of course, the boating scene here on the Chicago River is top-notch, as you'll see from some of the footage that we have here. Boats and people galore line the Riverwalk in Chicago. If you ever get a chance, come down, take a look. Just walk around. There's wine bars and restaurants, first come, first serve with boating, and always really good music.
But my baby can live out. Somebody told me she got old in another town. Well, I sent her home my money to come home to me.
The next day I woke up and got ready to sail. As I headed about 3 miles offshore, I got a phone call that my father-in-law had passed away that morning. It was really very sad, and it was time to pull up roots and get back up north to Waukegan, my harbor. The whole way I was thinking about him, thinking about his final moments. We'd just seen him the week before. I'd asked him if he wanted us to do anything to help alleviate the pain. He said he wasn't in any pain, and that he was pretty much ready to go. The impact that he had on our whole family, you can't even say what it's like for those of you who have lost a loved one. He loved to fish, and so everything around me reminded me of all the things he liked to do. Old cars, old motorcycles. Even one time I got him to come out on the sailboat, and as he looked up at the wind vane and the angle of the sails, he said, "You know, your vector's off." Now, how would you know that we use vectors in sailing? Of course, I was dealing with an engineer, so automatically he would know. That's how his mind worked. So as we got back, the next day it was time to visit him and get the funeral arrangements going. So really, really tough, and I feel especially bad for my wife losing her father. Again, everything around us reminded us of him. And the last thing he said to us, he saw pictures of us out sailing and boating, and he just said, "Cool, cool." I know that he would love to know that we're carrying on his memory, and that we're never ever going to forget him. After making some preliminary arrangements about his services, we still had about a week and a half before the service, and he had decided to donate his body to science, which is so fitting for him. A quick trip to Kenosha, looking at old cars, and just basically spending a couple days coming off of this recent loss. I know that he would have had fun here in Kenosha. He loved farmers markets and he loved being out and about. Kenosha, by the way, has a very cool farmers market on Saturday mornings during the summer, and I believe that they have one up in Racine as well. All these harbors and spots are just a quick sail. Well, not quick, but 3-4 hours up the coast from Waukegan. You can experience this for yourself if you drive or sail up there. But as you see, really beautiful produce, friendly people, and just all around good time. Definitely the place to be in the summer. Very cool. So pretty. By the time I put this video together, I had pulled down his old motorcycles from out of the garage, and it was time to get to work. This is a 1972 Harley Davidson FX 1200 that I'm working on, and also his 1964 Triumph. He used to ride this bike down the beach in Daytona before there were any condos along the beachfront there. We wanted to make sure that they took extra special care to get this motorcycle over to the funeral home, as it really represented who he was, always the engineer. So now it's up to me to take over, take my time and work building this bike back. So now not only am I a sailor, but I'm also a biker. Ron, I'm always going to miss you, love you, and this video is dedicated to you and your memory and everything that you meant to us. Here we are about a week and a half later, sailing off of the Racine Shoal. It felt good to be back on the water again, carrying the memory of my father-in-law and what his love meant to his wife and daughter and myself. Back in the saddle, sailing, reflecting on life, and realizing that there is no time like the present to get out and do the things that you want to do. Do not hesitate. Do not let your boat sit in the harbor. You must go out and sail and go after the things that you want. Thanks for watching, and really appreciate your comments and thoughts. Like and subscribe below. Colin Palmer Sailing on YouTube.